that is to be addressed by the MEC. With us, we have the HOD for DEDEAT, Ms. Miki Mama. We have Ms. Boniswa Koneti, who is the ECDC board member, as a shareholder representative from DEDEAT. We have Mr. Mbulelo Cholingana, who is the director for enterprise development within DEDEAT. We have executives from ECDC, Mr. Govender, who is the executive manager for corporate services, Mr. George, acting head of trade, investment, and innovation. And we have CEO, Mr. Ayanda Wakaba, who's joining us online, and Ms. Khosani, the head of development, finance, and business support, who's also joining us online. We are going to be quick, colleagues. This program is going to be very short. On the program, we're going to have the MEC, Honorable MEC Mlungisi Mfoko, who is going to address us. Mr. Mbulelo Cholingana will come and take us through, after the MEC, take us through the project management, and thereafter we will have the Q&A session where media colleagues will ask questions, and then the MEC and the panel that has been set up, they will come in and respond to those questions. Thereafter, we'll adjourn. Without wasting time, let me call upon the MEC to come and address us.
Thank you very much. Better bakum. Lando, I can't. Lando no go yona is safe. Yeah. Tikhola kungayisusike kodwa manithobele nje umthetho. Tikhola kube ihlala bapha kum lo ba kuthi mandiyisusa mask. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Morning to the HOD, Mama. I'm not certain if the chairperson of ECDC board has joined us, but to all the board members that have joined us, the CEO, Mr. Wakaba, and management, and to all of you members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is true that this should be a very short media briefing because we are going for another meeting at 10 o'clock. Let me first appreciate the presence of the media at this very important occasion for the department. Today, the department, working together with our agency, the Eastern Cape Development Corporation, is launching the Informal Business Support Programme. Referred to as IBSP. You'll recall that in March, when I was presenting the policy speech for DEDEAT, I pronounced a 40 million rand to support informal businesses in all of the 6 district municipalities and metros in the province. I'm certain that many of those informal businesses have been waiting patiently in anticipation of that kind of support from government. We have appointed ECDC to act as an implementing agent for this fund. This is in line with their mandate of providing support to the business and also improve the economic standing of the Eastern Cape. We decided to give this support knowing that the informal sector was not able to benefit greatly from the government interventions, as the small, medium, and micro enterprises relief schemes and other financial schemes required compliance with legal and other regulatory frameworks. The workers in the informal economy could not also not benefit from the Department of Employment and Labor the UIF TERS, Unemployment Insurance Funds Temporary Employment Relief Scheme, due to the fact that they are not registered. Now, this support program is in line with the Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan of the province, where the department is taking a leading role. You will agree with me that this support comes at an opportune time when the informal business, just like all businesses, are in need of support owing to a number of reasons, including the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic, which necessitated government to put in place necessary protocol to control its spread, has caused major disruptions in business activity. Its impact has resulted to loss of income for many businesses and individuals, and at worst, the shutdown of some of the businesses. So we believe, therefore, that any support provided to them will give necessary boost to their operations and contribute to the economy and job creation. This financial injection is aimed at promoting compliance with legal and regulatory frameworks that governs business activities in South Africa. This Informal Business Support Programme is a vehicle through which the department seeks to encourage formalization of the informal enterprises in order to access a variety of opportunities that exist for formal enterprises and create an enabling environment for informal businesses to scale up their activities through the incentives provided by government. It's also aimed at providing support to enterprises that are in the townships, rural areas, and small towns who struggle to access available business support due to barriers of entry, such as high costs for compliance and compliance to industry norms and standards. As alluded to earlier, the goal of the IBSP is to support at least 1,000 informal micro enterprises operating in the Eastern Cape, targeting 4 sectors: manufacturing, clothing, leather and textile, and then thirdly, automotive aftermarket support interventions, and lastly, the service sectors. This program will stimulate local economy, especially in sectors that are hit the most by the economic downturn brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. And that the supported informal and micro enterprises will undoubtedly contribute towards job creation and other developmental goals that include addressing the needs of the vulnerable groups such as women, youth, people with disability, and military veterans. We regard the informal business as a key contributor to the economy of the country, and this is why it is important to bring them into the mainstream economy. A more collaborative approach has been adopted to ensure effective service delivery and impact at local level. Partnership with the DSBD agencies such as CEDA and CIFA has been established for non-financial support of IBSP beneficiaries. But it's important that it's not only the financial part that is being supported, but there is a need for non-financial support. Furthermore, collaboration at municipality level includes working with local municipalities for the generation of pipeline projects as well as participation in the rollout of the program. Working closely with the ECDC as the fund manager of the program. So we will link the municipalities with ECDC to ensure that this project or this program is a success. This approach will ensure that not only the funding is provided to the informal businesses, but also equipment, tools, machinery, and empowerment programs such as training of entrepreneurship, coaching, and mentorship are provided for holistic business growth. We believe that this boost to the identified sectors will give impetus to the growth that has been reported by Stats SA in their labor for the first quarterly survey for the first quarter of 2021. You'd remember that in that report, Eastern Cape recorded 65,000 new jobs, resulting in some decline in the province unemployment rate from the 47.9% to 43.8%. So the net job increases were mainly in financial services, business services, and trade and retail sectors of the economy. We therefore urge our people through the lower levels of the economy to take advantage of this support. In this way, we are acknowledging their role in the broader economic activity, and we believe that their participation will give a much needed boost to our economic growth ambitions. We are building that Eastern Cape that we want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MEC, for that address. At this point, I'm going to call upon Mr. Cholingana to come through and just take us through the project management. Mr. Cholingana.
Thank you, Program Director, and greetings to the MEC, HOD, CEO, and Executive Management of ECDC, and the members of the press that are here. I'm just going to be taking you through a presentation. I think largely has been covered by the speech of the MEC, so I will just skip the other areas where I was to share with you some information relating to this program. I think as indicated, the department has put aside the 40 million as the MEC shared with us. However, the management of this program is with ECDC, definitely working with other institutions. Now, what is the objective, I think, of this program? One is to encourage the transitioning of the informal and the micro enterprises to formal economy by ensuring the compliance to legal and other regulatory frameworks, but also to promote effective transitioning to formal economy by including improved access to business services, finance, infrastructure, markets, technology, education, and skills program. Improve access to entrepreneurship training, skills development, tailored business development services through partnership with other stakeholders. Provide support to enterprises primarily that are based in the townships, in the rural areas, and small towns, who often struggle to access the available business support that is provided by existing development agencies. Stimulate local economy by supporting informal and micro enterprises that will contribute towards job creation and other developmental goals that include addressing the needs of the vulnerable groups, I think as shared by the MEC, women, youth, people with disability, and the military veterans. And the sectors, I think the 4 sectors has already been shared with MEC. I will just skip that slide. But there is a clear criteria that has been put in terms of how people can access this scheme or this program. For you to qualify, you have to meet the following requirements. It must be an informal business that operates in Eastern Cape. And of course, the person who owns this business is expected to be managing it on a full-time basis. The business owner must be a South African, have a valid South African ID document, and must be in possession of a 6 months or must be in operation for a minimum of 6 months for them to be considered in terms of this in this program. And of course, he has to be issued with a permit or a license by the local municipality for them to be considered. Of course, we will encourage that they register for CIPC, your SARS, your UIF, and so on as a way to formalize them. But the minimum requirement, at least, it has to be a permit that is issued by a local municipality. And they must have a valid proof of residence, either a municipal bill account or lease agreement, or any letter from the traditional leader. Of course, they must employ more than 70% of the South African in terms of the staff establishment or complement. Have a minimum of 3 months bank statement where applicable, business should submit an application form and with a business plan that is prescribed. I think within that application form, a business plan is embedded. It doesn't have to have an additional business plan, so to speak. I think the sectors, we've already indicated which are the sectors. What are the exclusions? All activities that are not covered in terms of the section I've just gone through, but also all those that are regarded as illegal activities in terms of South Africa will not be considered here, including labor brokers, your non-profit organization, government and state-owned employees, and persons under debt review, as well as property development won't be considered in terms of this scheme. Purchase of office equipment and computer hardware costs, land and buildings, some of the things that will not be considered under this scheme. So the role, I think, and responsibility of stakeholders is quite clear. DEDEAT will remain being a project originator, creating the pipeline for this, working with municipalities. Of course, ECDC has that responsibility to manage this on our behalf as a department. Local government will assist us because we will be working with local municipalities in terms of accepting applications. The applicant need not to go straight to DEDEAT. They can submit their applications to their nearest local municipalities. I've learned that they have been trained, all the LED officials, in terms of the application process. So we've made an arrangement that the business owners may not necessarily have to travel longer distance to submit their applications. However, DEDEAT still remains the responsibility to do a screening and ensure that all processes are followed in terms of ensuring that all are considered the applications that have been submitted. The SBD and its agencies, as outlined, I think, by the MEC, we're working with them, particularly CEDA, in terms of non-financial support. We also share the details of where you can access DEDEAT in terms of contracts are all included in terms of this presentation. On that note, I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cholingal. At this point, colleagues, we are going to take questions. Media colleagues will raise up hands. We'll start with the colleagues that are here on site. Then thereafter, we'll look at colleagues who are joining us online. We have also provided a WhatsApp line where colleagues can just send us their questions, those who are unable to give us those questions through the online platforms that are here. So that number is 064-850-8655. But I am sure that media colleagues, they did receive this. It was sent to them earlier. I see that Ted has got a question there already. What we'll do is that colleague will raise up the hand, introduce themselves and the media company where they are coming from, and then shoot. Ted?
Hi, I'm Ted Keenan from Daily Dispatch. The question I've got is something that concerns both me and Daily Dispatch, and that is that there's a large reliance on local municipalities to assist people to get permits and that sort of thing. Local municipalities have not been good at that in the past. What comforts the organization that they will in fact be good at it in the future?
Thank you, Ted. Do you have any other question?
Well, my request is that you speak to the NEC after the program has been completed, after we finish with the program.
No, that's fine. We will now look at the colleagues online. There is one. Colleague, you can just introduce yourself, then the company you're coming from, and then shoot straight. If you can hear me, you can unmute and start asking the question.
Regarding the requirement, right?
Sorry. Can we start
Yes,
over?
Mr.
I think you were unmute when you started to speak. Can you just go back, introduce yourself and the media company you're coming from, then you can ask again.
Oh, okay, thank you very much, Mhlekazi. My name is Lukhanyiso Mandla Khalane. I'm based in Butterworth from a company called Zisa Sisa. We're trading as Muma Ads and Classified. I've just got two questions, please. I do understand that the project is from DEDEAT. I also learned that the ECDC is the implementing agent. I do, however, want to ask, have there been a provision for service provider providers to assist in the facilitation?
That we had to write, and the council to take the resolution that we must recover that money from that senior manager and also the other one who is the previous CFO.
And secondly, I would just like to ask, regarding the issue of permits, did you take into consideration that we are assisting small businesses, and a permit on average to a local municipality is about
My
1,500 rands. So are we not going to waive that 1,500 rand to assist these businesses?
Okay, I think we had a problem with your first question. We didn't get the rest of your first question. Can we just go back and start over again with your first question? Then you can come to the second question again. We had a technical glitch at the time you were asking that first question.
No, sure, I understand. Yes. My first question is that I do understand that ECDC is the implementing agent for the project. And I just want to find out, is there a provision for service providers to assist in the implementation of the project?
Okay, we got that one. Can move to the second one now.
The second one is that taking into consideration that these are informal businesses and we're assisting informal businesses, the issue about the permit, right? It usually costs around between 1,000 rand and 1,500. Isn't there a way that we they can waiver this 1,500 rands, because it's a bit steep, if I understand, for small businesses? They do have small trading licenses, which are permits, but I mean the 1.5 is a bit steep. Isn't there a way that the ECDC or even the Department of Environmental Affairs have seen in previous projects where small businesses they were asking for compliance for this permit? It was an issue. So isn't there a way that we can look into this to assist businesses? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have another one?
There's Andile Nomapunga. Andile, can you just switch on your video? And colleagues, if you're not recognized, please do not unmute your microphone. Andile, we recognize you. Can we please have your video on, sir? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Andile Nomapunga. I am from the Informal newspaper based in Matatiele. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You can shoot.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you, Andile. You can go ahead.
I was saying my name is Andile Nomabunga from the Informal newspaper. From the Informal newspaper and my question is based on the fact that since this money is allocated, or ECDC is going to assist this formal in dispersing this money, problem that we are facing especially in rural areas, is the fact that we don't have ECDC representatives in these areas. How are you going to make it easy for beneficiaries to access this money, especially those who are coming from the rural areas. I mean, places like the Alfredo, as where I am right now. Also, how are you going to monitor these funds that when somebody get these funds, he or she will be able to utilize these funds in a manner that is required so that businesses can be successful? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nomapunga. Do we have another one?
Nomazima Nkosi is asking, can you provide clarity on where people access this fund at local municipalities?
That is
That's
Nomazima Nkosi
Nomazima
from the
Nkosi.
Herald.
Yes.
I think we have a colleague here who wants to ask a question.
Yes, my name is Polani Sichinga from SABC. I just wanted to check, in terms of qualification criteria, what happens in cases where you'll find that maybe that business person is behind in terms of their municipal, municipal account? Does that disqualify them automatically, or something can be done to try and assist them? Because I mean, people have not been working for quite some time. Now, there's a possibility that maybe abanye abantu are not paying. So what happens in that case?
Okay, we've got that one. Do we have another one online?
There's two more questions from Nomazima Nkosi. How are you going to monitor to ensure that there are no repeat beneficiaries? Is there a cap on the amount of business, business can be assisted with? Is this fund only one financial year, or will it be repeated throughout the other financial years?
Okay, I think with those questions, let's quickly deal with those as our first round. Then once we've dealt with that, we'll consider the second round. I think Mr. Cholingana will come through just to respond to some of the questions. We also have the HOT if she feels that there are some other questions. Mr. Van Dam is also here. MEC will probably come later on to wrap up. Mr. Cholingana.
Thank you, Program Director, and thanks for the questions from the members of the press, as well as those who have raised some of the questions. One, let's start with the issue of the municipality. I think it's a known a problem that not all municipalities are able to can provide the needed permits and so on, because it's not uniform. Other municipalities, they charge even less. Others, really, they charge higher, particularly the metros and so on. So it varies from one municipality to another. However, an attempt has been made to work closely with the local municipalities through their LED offices to ensure that they are on board and are able to can assist, because these informal businesses are there in the local space, are able to can assist those people in their respective spaces to ensure that at least if there are any hurdles around issuing permits must be addressed. So we are not abdicating the responsibility as DEDEAT. We still have a responsibility to ensure we administer the fund and ensure that we create this pipeline working with the local municipalities. It's still a responsibility of the DEDEAT. However, we need the support of municipality to ensure that they come on board around the issuing of permits. I think the other question from Andile, that there's no ECDC representatives in those areas and how the beneficiaries will be able to can access the scheme. We did indicate that DEDEAT regional offices, we have a presence in all the 6 districts, will still remain a contact point. And we also have trained the LED officers in respective local municipalities around handling of the application. There's been orientation on application sessions with them so that they can receive the applications and forward it to DEDEAT. So we've tried to ensure that we cover everyone, including the rural areas. ECDC, as indicated, has the responsibility to manage the fund at the end of the day. That is the responsibility that they have, of course, working with DEDEAT and the RLMs. How are we going to ensure we monitor the funds? After anyone who have benefited here, we have committed to work with them for a period of 18 months to ensure that there's monitoring of how the funds are going to be utilized. In fact, even the equipment that we have purchased for them, how is utilized. There is a provision in terms of the policy. In an event that the person who have been received the equipment might close the business, we have to take that and give it to another one who may really need that equipment and so on, if the business is no longer operational. So there will be ongoing monitoring that as DEDEAT officials we're going to carry out after post-funding period. I think we're not going to make judgment around the municipal account, but for us it's just the proof that is a person residing in that area. Is immaterial whether they owe the municipality or not. For us, it's just a proof, as a form of a proof, to ensure that at least this is a resident of this particular area that he claims is coming from. So it carries no weight whether they owe them or not for us to make a decision. For us, it's based on the viability of the business proposal that will be submitted to us. The fund, I think, is been made as a once-off, 40 million. Of course, whether we continue, it depends on how we perform, but it has been made as a once-off in terms of the current financial year, 2021-2022, and is kept at 30,000 for purchase of equipment. Anyone who wants to benefit is entitled up to 30,000. But however, to avoid double dipping, we indicated we'll be working with CEDA and the other institutions. So we'll be sharing information with those institutions so that a person doesn't get twice, He might benefit from us, but for a different aspect of the business. If you benefited maybe financially, but you still need equipment, you are still welcome actually to apply to us. I think if there are any left, Chair, you may indicate, try to cover others. I think others were more repetitive. Thank you. The issue of service providers, as indicated that ECDC is the fund manager. There will be, I think, a call where they will need a pool of service providers in terms of purchase of equipment for the beneficiaries. All right. I think Mr. Fundam can further elaborate on that one. But there will be a call for those service providers in terms of purchase of equipment, wherein service providers can be able to benefit in that fashion. But also in terms of training, working with UCEDA, part of the training and the capacity building is done through, the enlisting the support of service providers. Those are the aspects where we think the service providers will be able to benefit. Thank you, sir.
Ted, I'm sure you are covered in that question of yours? Yes. Okay. Thanks very much. I'm just quickly going to check with Unobulali and see if there are any questions that are coming through that WhatsApp line, Noblali?
Thank you. It's only one question that's come through. Okay, thank you. There's only one question coming from Max from Nguma Ads and Classified. He's asking what is the minimum and the maximum of the funding. His other question is, I think it's the one that's just been responded to. He was asking if there will be any service providers that will be assisting in running the project, or if the local economic development offices will be the only offices that are assisting with the application processes. Thank you.
Okay. I think those questions they've been covered in the responses that Mr. Chulungana was giving. But if probably the colleague is not satisfied with that, they can just come back later on. We'll deal with that at that time. Mr. Kit Ngesi, I think you have a question there.
No, there are two questions online from Uadre Batis Krisane. Are you going to have a monitoring system in place for the business to report on the money they received, so that you know the money was not used for things other than what it was requested for? Are there any other types of support in place, non-financial support?
Okay, no, that's fine. I think that question partly has been covered also by Mr. Cholingan, but we'll see if there are other issues maybe that we need to add on. I know HOD wants to come and respond to some of the questions, and Mr. Fundam, if you have any additions to what Mr. Cholingana has provided, you are welcome to come through. Can we just allow the HOD to come and just talk to the issues? Then we'll come and see if there are any other questions that are coming from the online platform. Yeah, HOD.
Good day, everyone. No, I just thought the question about service providers came twice. So the service providers are for provisioning of the materials or products, but not for the facilitation. Because the question from Umanda was asking if there are any service providers that will be appointed to facilitate implementation. So it will be for provision of products or tools for trade. Yeah, I just needed, because it came twice as well. But also the other point, I think for me, which also is going to assist, is the fact that one of the conditions is that a business must be already in operation for at least 6 months. So permits are already there. We're talking about the businesses that are running already. But as we are all hoping that the program will roll out successfully, then the other points in terms of services that rates that have not been paid, or the speed of getting licenses and permits, or the cost related, that we will also see how we deal with that for the next round, because now we're talking about businesses that are operating already. Thank you.
Thank you, HOD. We are going for the last round now, colleagues. I see that we've got some questions online. Can we take those?
Yes, there's one from Uzoliswa from Izule Africa newspaper. I just want to know, how much are you planning to give each company? Andisa Uti, good morning. Do you have anything for youth in business? And the last one is from Nomazi Mangosi. Should the ECDC then disperse the funds to the desired 1,000 beneficiaries, does it have the staff complement to monitor these businesses for 18 months? Is the capacity sufficient?
There is one more. Can we
The
take that as
last
well?
one is Babalwa Changela from Imbali Consumables and Services. Is the funding available to specific industry or any industry?
Yeah. I think, colleagues, you will agree with me that these questions, they have been covered in the responses that have been given here by Mr. Cholingana, and then also covered by the HOD. Now, what I will allow is to see if, Mr. Fundam, do you have issues that you would like to address, or you are covered by everything that has been said? Okay, MEC, probably you will need to just come through and just wrap up if there are issues that you need to touch on as a wrap up. We don't have any questions, most colleagues online. Okay, MEC, thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Actually, I wanted to start with the once off. Remember, this was done because we realized that nothing was given to informal business. So this is a once off. There are quite an array of other businesses that want to benefit from us. I'm inundated almost monthly from such to ask, when are you coming our way? So this is a beginning. If there's going to be any second round, it will definitely not be on top of this one. It would be something new. But as of now, I must upfront indicate that this is a once-off, given our financial statement as well. I mean, status as well. Secondly, I know the fear of us working with municipalities, that sometimes they do not collaborate properly. But I think during the time of TERS and all other relief schemes, the HOD had instructed the regional offices to try and collaborate with municipalities in registering businesses. So the informal businesses, this was in preparation for something similar to this. So we cannot, as a department, work alone. You must remember that your municipality is right there on the ground, at the coal face. So whatever we want to do, we must try and make sure that we collaborate with municipalities. So this is one other attempt that will bring us closer to each other. As you all know, that there's this DTM model, but I know that there's always that challenge of municipalities. If you have heard here, some municipalities would charge 1.5 for the permit. Some would charge you 300 rand for a permit. Maybe it also creates a platform for us to enter into some kind of negotiations with municipalities on similar matters. I know that there was an outreach program to the district municipalities, I think, Mr. Cholingana or some. There was a outreach program going to all the district municipalities. And I think if this outreach has not been sufficient, I think we might have to extend it to local municipalities. But what I want to emphasize here is that this must be done very quickly, HOD, on the monitoring. I can hear that many people are concerned about monitoring, whether we'll be able to monitor. Yes, I think from the department side, we'll be able to monitor because ECDC will have to frequently report on this matter. We can't have this matter delayed until the end of the financial year. It must be, the funds must be dispersed as quickly as is possible. That's what we want to happen here. So I think working together with the local municipalities and the district municipalities, the department and ECDC, with the agencies that we identified here, it should be dispersed quickly. And that's what should happen. On the monitoring has been explained, because I know that many people would want to know how you're going to monitor. And I know the concern from many people that people would request funding for this and they use it on something else. That's why you're getting all of these inquiries in terms of the monitoring. Is there something for youth? We identified vulnerable groups here as specific targets. Remember, for instance, this is a Women's Month, so we should be making sure that we reach all those vulnerable groups as much as we can. So yes, there would be something for youth based on the vulnerable groups that have been identified. So yeah, we're looking forward to ECDC dispersing this quickly, assisted by municipalities, and ensuring that the money is dispersed quickly and that there wouldn't be a situation where the money will have to be rolled over. We're just hoping that it's not going to happen. But yeah, with ECDC dispersing some other funds or funding instruments, they have done it very well, and we believe that they will do this as quickly as they can in the same manner in which they've dispersed funding from other funding instruments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MSC. I think just to add something that probably was left up the application process is already opened today, so that application form is already available on DEDEAT website. All the potential applicants can just go to our site and ECDC website as well. The closing date is the 30th of September. Today is 10th and 10th August. So by 30th September, we are closing, and there will be no considerations of applications thereafter. I think MEC, HOD, and colleagues, we have come to the end of this program. Thank you very much for availing yourselves and the support that you have given us. Thank you very much. This session stands adjourned.